Coming up, 8 of the world's best recurve archers compete in a unique remote tournament from their own homes and ranges. The COVID-19 pandemic caused the cancellation of many major sporting events and the unprecedented delay of the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. Instead of a summer of international archery, elite athletes were stuck at home, but many could still practice. So, World Archery launched its very own innovative remote competition. 8 elite recurve archers set up their own tournament fields, broadcasting their own shooting live using mobile phones. 7 Olympians, a total of 4 Olympic medals and 1 reigning World Archery champion, took to their lockdown knockout ranges, competing for a top prize of 1,000 Swiss francs and this unique title. Let's meet the contenders. The 2 reigning European champions, from Turkey, Yasemin Anagos, and from the Netherlands, Steve Weiler. The USA's triple medalist at the 2019 Pan American Games, Casey Kaufhold. He represented Brazil at his home Olympics in 2016, Bernardo Oliveira. The first woman in over 2 decades to qualify the Netherlands an Olympic place, Gabby Bayardo. Canada's reigning Pan American Games champion, Crispin Duenas. The London 2012 Olympic silver medalist from Mexico, Ida Rahman. And the reigning World Archery champion, world number 1 and 5-time Hyundai Archery World Cup champion, Brady Ellison. The 8 competitors took part in a remote ranking round to decide their seeds. Each archer shot and filmed 60 arrows at a target 18 metres away, with a maximum of 600 points available. 3 tied on 577, but it was Crispin Duenas who led the pack, scoring 595 to qualify top in this lockdown knockout.
So I just finished my qualification round, and I got to tell you, it was a little bit nerve-wracking at some points. Luckily, I still shot a 595 today, and I'm pretty happy with that. There were some close calls and some shots that I knew I could have done better, but I think that's what being off for 3 months really showed me. Granted, I was still shooting during those 3 months, but nothing for score, nothing as serious as this competition. So I'm really happy with how I did today, and I can't wait to see the results of everybody else.
Brady Ellison was second on 593, and Steve Weiler third with 589. The 4 men are placed on the left-hand side of the bracket and the 4 women on the right. Here are our first round matchups. Crispin will take on Bernardo. Steve faces Brady. Gabby shoots against Casey. And Ida has Yasemin to start this event. These lockdown matches will follow normal head-to-head rules where possible. Recurve archers shoot over 18 metres and matches are decided using the set system. Each set consists of 3 arrows. The highest score in a set is worth 2 set points. A draw wins each archer 1 set point. And the first to 6 set points wins the match. The target faces in this event are unique. Normally horizontal, they'll be arranged in a triangular formation. There'll be concentric rings with the centre worth 10 points, measuring just 4 centimetres in diameter. But especially for this tournament, we've added this white dot. It's worth 12 points, but archers must declare their intention to attempt a shot at it before drawing their bow. Solid start from Casey. Fabulous response again. Casey's found the middle of the target. Dropping a point there for Gabby. So Casey can put this out of reach with a 10. And that looks like it is in the 10 ring, our first perfect score.
I want to shoot the white dot.
So Gabby's called it. She's going for the 12 points here. That white dot on the top target is what she's aiming for. She's gone a little bit high there and will, I believe, score an 8. Well, that is exceptionally close. I think that might just be a 9, though. Another one, a bit closer to the line. Well, potentially all square in this set. Bit of a longer hold, but a 28 provisionally for Casey. And a lovely 10 there for Gabby. So potentially on a 29. So Casey on the shooting line needs to win this set. Good start. The thing here is that all Gabby has to do is match Casey. She can afford to draw this set and still take the win. That may be a little high, though. Another 10. Good pressure from the teenager. And that one looks like it has broken the line, as Chris mentioned earlier. And that's another close one, but I think, again, that is on the line, and I think that's the second perfect 30 for Casey Kaufhold.
I want to shoot the white dot again.
You had a good think about that, didn't you, Gabby? Gabby Biardo going for the 12 points again. Oh, this time she's gone low. So the first one was high, the second one was low. We can't even quite see whether that's hit the blue ring or not. Could be just the 7 points for Gabby. Chris, your thoughts?
Well, if Gabby had hit that white spot, she would have got 31 points, and that would have won her the match. She thinks that bottom left arrow's out, so that's why she went for it, because she was not within a chance of taking it otherwise. It looks like that will send this to a shoot-off.
That's a high 9 for Casey.
Yep.
And that is straight into the 10 ring for Gabby. Ladies, if they can make your way down to the targets.
Well, I was pretty nervous because Casey and I compete a lot against each other, and it's always like or Casey or me. It just depends on like how good we are in that day. So I knew that she was gonna be like a tough match.
Just inside the 10 ring. The athletes will shoot alternately. So we're now in Antalya with Yasmin. Well, that looks like it should still be a 10 on the line, though. And a perfect 30 for Aida to get this match underway. Pressure on Yasmin now. But that's in the 10 as well. Now we are going to need to have the score on that bottom right target. There's a good clear view of the targets. Yeah, well, I think the athletes are down there. So Aida, we'll come to you first. Can you confirm that that is a perfect score?
Yeah, it's 10, 10, 10.
So there we have 30 in Mexico and Yasmin in Antalya. Can you confirm your scores, please?
I've got 10, 10, 9.
So that second arrow is a 9. So it's 29 points for Yasmin, 30 for Aida. Aida gets the first 2 set points. Well, low and right. Good grouping on that bottom left target. But I think that may well be a 9. Bit of a longer hole, but again, that grouping in that target is absolutely phenomenal. And that looks like it's gone into the 9 for sure. So a questionable first one, 9, possibly 10. And Aida is ready for her second arrow. Another 10. So Yasmin has got to go for the 12. I'm sure she's going to ask for it.
Yeah, I'm going for circle.
Here we go. A second attempt at the white dot in the top target there. And low again. And that one could be another 7. Now that one looks like it's gone a little bit left, but I think it's possibly just clinging on to the 9 ring. So the ladies will go back down. Chris, Yasmin had no choice. She had to go for the 12-pointer, didn't she?
Yeah, she shot some excellent 10s on those bottom 2 targets in the first few ends, but she shot both of those outright into the 9. And you've seen all of her arrows that haven't been in the middle kind of leak out to the right as well, except for those ones on the bottom spot. But we'll ignore that. So she had no choice. She had to go for the white. All credit to her for trying, but couldn't quite hit it.
It's a 4th 10 in a row for Steve, matching Brady's first arrow. And that's a perfect 30 for Brady Ellison. And another perfect 30 for Steve Via. So the two tied on 30 points provisionally. They will go down to confirm their scores, but I think that is a perfect 30 on both sides. The first drop point there from Steve Via into the 9. That's a 10 for Steve, and he's left the top target clear, so he may well opt to go for the 12-pointer and was adjusting his sight just there. And Steve might have to go for that 12 ring now. There we go. He's going for it. A perfect 30 from Brady has forced Steve into having a shot at the 12 ring. Will he be the first to hit it in this tournament? Oh, he looks like he has smashed it down the middle. A fabulous shot there to take the points here. Now, that puts him on 31. Yes, I know that's a very unusual score in archery, but it does give him 31 points and puts him ahead in the set because it was a perfect 30 from Brady, but not enough when you hit the 12-pointer. Chris, astonishing. Our first 12 points here.
Well, we've been waiting 3 matches to get it. Fantastic delivery by Steve, especially if he says he can't see the lines on the target. Very, very satisfying, I can imagine.
Now that's very close. I'm going to mark that as a 9, but subject to a measure. That one's on the line, but for me, it's a stronger shout for a 10.
Yeah.
That looks like it's in the 10 ring, though. Another 10 from Steve. And Brady's called it. He's going for the 12 points here. Oh, it looks like he's got it as well. A 31 for Brady Ellison. Now, the question is, will Steve go for the 12 as well?
Yeah, I'm just going to do it.
He's going for it. Oh, we're going to get a maximum 32 points here. Let's see what Steve can do. Well, I think that is quite possibly in the 12 ring as well. We've waited for the third quarterfinal for that 12 ring to be hit. And by my count, it's been hit 3 times. And that's just in the last 2 sets. Now, I don't want to call this one too early because both of them have hit the 12. So let's get down to the targets. We'll start with Brady first because we need to know whether that first arrow is in or out of the 10 ring. Brady, are you there?
Yeah, I got 32.
It is a 10, and it's a 32 for Brady.
Nice.
And again, great congratulations from his opponent. Steve, can you confirm that's a 32 as well?
Yeah, I got the same.
32. The set points are shared, but it does mean that Steve Weiler has won this 6 points to 2 in the 4th set of an incredible match.
Yeah, this just feels amazing. I've been practicing a little on the 12, the last 2 trainings I did, but I think I only hit like 30% of it. So it's pretty nice to hit it multiple times now. So it's really cool.
It's nice to compete again, and like this was a lot of fun with this target here. I kind of would kind of like to you know, maybe have this as a permanent face for indoors. I think it would make things rather exciting.
So another 10 for Crispin, saving the top target with the 12-pointer if he needs it. That one's crept in to the 8 ring. So an 8 is all Crispin needs here to take this first set. It's a perfect start from Crispin Duenas with a 30. Obviously, he will have to confirm that, but we'll have Bernardo's last arrow.
I'll get some white spot practice here.
He's going for the 12-pointer. Oh, I think he's clipped that as well. I think that's a 29. Said it was some practice. It wasn't going to be quite enough to overtake Crispin, but not a bad idea to practice that one. Brilliant first arrow. Key to put some pressure on his Canadian opponent. Now that's a bit left as well. I'm going to mark it as a 10, but subject to confirmation. And another 10. That's the fourth one in a row for Bernardo. Sorry, the fifth one in a row for Bernardo. Similar spot to the last set, and that was a 10, so I'm marking that one as a 10 as well.
I'll go for the white one again.
Bernardo is going for it. He's on 20, potential 32 up for grabs here. He's gone high and right. That could be a 9. It's on the 8-9 ring, so we will need that one measured. And that one's left as well, but I think that's on the line as well. Now, we are going to have to get confirmation here. We think that Bernardo's got a 29. Now, if 2 of Crispin's arrows are outside the 10 ring, we've still got a match on.
Yeah, this arrow has clipped the line. I can move the camera if you guys need me to, but it's in. But I do have to say, like, great shooting from Bernardo going for that 12 like 3 times. I didn't even go for it, so that was amazing shooting from Bernardo.
Let's have a quick look at what that does to the draw. And as you can see, Crispin comes through the left-hand side of the draw and will face Steve Weiler. Ida Roman and Gabby Bernardo came through the 2 women's quarterfinals. The lockdown knockout has introduced this unusual target face. It's got all the normal triple spot rings, scoring 10 to 6 points, but also an additional white dot in the red. And it's worth a bonus 12 points. Measuring at just 15 millimeters in diameter, which is about the same as a bottle cap, it's less than half the size of the 10 ring. Miss it, and you'll end up with much less.
It's funny because you cannot really see it, so you kind of need to guess where you need to aim, and it doesn't go good always. It always doesn't good.
Archers have to call their intention to shoot the 12 before drawing their bow. For a sport intrinsically built on hitting the center of a circle, it's introduced something new: strategy. Steve Weiler was the first to hit the 12 and did so twice in his quarterfinal win over Brady Ellison.
Yes!
And despite the extra dot causing him to be eliminated, the reigning world archery champion was still a big fan.
This was a lot of fun with this target here. I kind of would kind of like to, maybe have this as a permanent face for indoors. I think it would make things rather exciting.
Oh, he
Good
looks like he
shot.
has smashed it down the middle. A fabulous shot there. Just 4 recurve archers remain in this lockdown knockout. Ida Roman, Gabby Bayardo, Steve Weiler, and Crispin Duenas. Duenas is the reigning Pan American Games champion, Weiler the reigning European champion. Roman is an Olympic medalist, and in the semi-finals, she'll be facing her old Mexican teammate, Gabby Bayardo, who's since relocated and now represents the Netherlands. Now, did the bark of the dog distract Ida there? She's gone right and into the 9 ring. And a solid 10 from Gabby. The adjustment has worked. Longer hold, but a 10, so a 29 for Ida. And that's gone into the 9 ring, so that is a 28 for Gabby. Solid start into the 10 ring. Matched by Ida. So all square, 20 points apiece. Gabby taking a little bit of time to get herself ready for that one. Shoots a 9, so a 29. Ida can take this set with a 10. And it is a 10 and a 30 for Ida. By my reckoning, that is another set for the Mexican. Well, that one looks like it may have just crept out into the 9 there. And that one on the line, so I think it will be a 10. And that's a 10. So applying a little bit of pressure to a Mexican opponent. Now that's in the 9. So the question is, will Gabby go straight for the 10 ring, or is she going to go for the 12? Now, she didn't call it, so she was going for the middle of the target, and I think that is an 8. A long hold, but a 10, and I think that's a 29 for Ida, and I think she's done this in 9 arrows.
Oh, I feel so happy, and
Thank you, Gabby, to give me the chance again, and all the people that were helping me around. I feel super nice and all charmy, and I don't know. I'm excited and super happy to get this match.
Another one so close to the spider in the middle of the target. Another 10. The standard here is incredible. Bit of a longer hold there for Crispin, but another 10. And I've got to be honest with you, I was a little worried we'd lost our connection there. And another 10 for Steve Weiler as well. For me, another perfect score for both of these archers. Chris, the standard is, well, phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. And what I quite liked about that set was both archers steered a few of those arrows. You saw Crispin take that long hold and just drop his bow arm slightly. Steve on his second arrow, he yanked his bow around just to kind of get that into the middle. The margins are small, but when you're good at archery, when you've got that kind of rhythm, you know where you're aiming, you know where things are going to land, and you can make those little adjustments to make those arrows go where you'd want them to land.
Now, that for me is a 9. It's just dropped out below the 10 ring. Steve's scored his 7th 10 in a row. A 10 for Crispin. This arrow is crucial now for Crispin's decision on his final arrow. It's a 10 for Steve. Crispin will have the opportunity to go for the 12 now. He's not called it. He's gone for the 10, so a 29 for Crispin. Didn't want to risk the 12. Steve can take the set with a 10. And he's got the 10. It's another perfect 30 for Steve Weiler. We've dubbed him Mr. 12, but he's only needed 10s to take the lead in this match. I believe he's gone 4-2 up in this match. Straight into the 10 ring. I'm not sure about that one. Another long hold, and again, that one I would say is subject to having a look at.
I'm going to go for the 12, guys.
Steve's going for the 12, the first time in this semi-final. Steve going for that white dot. He's not hit it, and I think that's a 7 for Steve Weiler. I think he scored a 26, subject to one of those arrows being measured. Chris, first arrow from Steve. Where do you say that's gone? A 9 or a 10?
Well, the biggest indicator is the fact that Steve went for that 12 ring at this last shot. He obviously thought it was out from back his end of the range. He's got no one down there checking while he's shooting. He's got his coach behind him spotting those arrows. So he thought it was a 9. He thought he needed to go for the 12 and the win in the match. Didn't get it this time.
Yes, I got 10-9-7.
A 10-9-7, so a 26 for Steve. Crispin, is it a perfect 30?
Yeah, 10-10-10.
Another one that's questionable. I'm pretty sure that's on the line, so should be a 10. Right in the middle there for Crispin. Another perfect 30 for me for Crispin. That looks like it's gone into the 9 ring for me. Now, Chris, whilst the guys go down to retrieve those arrows, the first shot from Crispin, 9 or 10?
No, I think that's a 10. And if that is the case, then this will be Crispin's match.
10-10-10, and I can show you a good angle on that left target if you would like.
Not at all. We trust you implicitly.
Okay.
A 10-10-10 for Crispin, which means he takes the men's semi-final 6 points to 4.
Yeah, the 12 for me is, again, it's so new that it's I don't know how I will be able to deal with it in competition. I have to have it a little bit more. Like everybody said in practice, I'm hitting it about 30% of the time. So for me, that's not a good enough stat to be able to implement in competition. I know that there was a higher chance that I would have to implement it with Steve, and luckily I didn't have to. But again, great shooting from Steve. He's like just an amazing shot, and lots of respect for this guy.
Started with 8 athletes, and Aida Roman came through the semi-final on the women's side of the draw, and she will now face Crispin Duenas from Canada in the final. So Mexico versus Canada for the final. So Crispin, just outside Toronto in Canada, will begin our recurve final. Aida just going right into the 9 ring. Well, he's been shooting 10s throughout the tournament. I think he's only missed the 10 ring once in 2 matches. Another one to the right, so 18 so far for Aida. That could be a 9, but I think that's going to be enough. He's put it out of reach. But,
I'm gonna go for that.
And Aida normally would be out of reach, but she's going for the 12-pointer here. First time for her. I think she's got it. That's a fantastic shot. And normally she would have been out of reach, but I think she's hit the 12-pointer. That gives her 30 points. And I think Crispin's last arrow is in the 9 ring. Christopher Wellington Wells, what do you say?
What a fantastic shot from Ida to finish that off. My breath was, well, I was holding my breath while she held her back. She was slow at full draw, but fantastic delivery. Definitely hit the 12 ring there. Crispin's arrow is in that exact worst spot to try and spot from this angle. I can't call whether that's a 9 or a 10. But to be honest, if I had to put some money on it, I'd take a 9 here. I think he's down at the target already.
Well, let's see if he is down. Crispin, could you give us your scores? And we can see the 2 10s in the bottom 2 targets. Is it a 9 or a 10 in the top one?
It's actually a 10. It just clipped, and I can move the camera over if you would like to see.
You do not have to do that. We trust you implicitly. So it is a 30 for Crispin. Ida, can you confirm that it's 2 9s and a 12?
I have 9, 9, 12.
Maintaining his 10s. And that's hit the 9-10 ring, so that will score a 10 as well. Longer hold from Crispin, but it's another 10. Now, it looks to me like Ida's fixed the problems of shooting right early on in the first set and found the middle of the target. It's another perfect 30 from Crispin Duenas from Canada. We go back to Mexico. Is Ida thinking about the 12 again? Oh, now I think maybe she was thinking about that 12 and she shot an 8 to score a 28. So for me, Crispin gets the set points and leads by 3 set points to 1. Chris, interesting last arrows from both the archers, a long hold from Crispin, and then I think there was a little bit of a question about whether to go for the 12.
Well, Crispin's last arrow was fantastic, right down the middle. But no, with Aida, she needed that 10 on the standard scoring to tie the match. And archery is all a mental game. You know, it all happens in the head before you draw the bow. And one of the most difficult things is knowing that you've got to hit the middle to win the match or tie the match, especially when you're on that standard circle. Because as soon as you let that kind of one thought come in, I can't miss the middle, then it all starts to become much more difficult. She shot fantastic arrows with her first 2. That third one, she wasn't happy with it, wasn't comfortable, and it's gone high in the 8 and given Crispin this second set.
Into the 9. And just adjusting her sight there as well. Well, I'm sounding like a stuck record here. It's another 10 for Crispin. So the adjustment was just slightly too far, and it's in the 9 on the other side.
Yeah. I'm going for the dot.
So another 9-9 and another call from Ida to go for the 12. And that's dropped into the 7 this time. So it's a 25 for Ida. 6 will be enough for Crispin to take this third set. Another long hold. I think that's drifted into the 9 this time. Very much like the first set. I think that's a 29 for Crispin, but it's enough to take the set points in the third. Chris, we've seen a couple of very long holds from Crispin. Why on earth would that be happening, especially indoors?
Well, actually, you see with Crispin, when he starts off a match, he tends to be much faster, and as the match progresses, he holds for longer and longer. Archery is all about rhythm and managing pressure and all this kind of thing. The pressure at the match is you're in the zone. You can go a bit faster as the pressure builds up. You tend to tighten up, and you tend to not be as smooth in your kind of motion and your technique. And you see that in Crispin as he shoots, but he's still shooting fantastically well. Managing that, knowing that it's going to happen, is part of the game here.
Yeah, it certainly is. And I think that may be just his second drop point in the whole tournament. But we're going to go to Ida first. Ida, a 997, I think, for you.
Yeah, it is 997.
So a 25 for Ida. And Crispin, what about you? Is that a 9, that final arrow?
No, I'm getting all the luck today, and that just clipped half the width of the line, so it's a 10.
Oh, brilliant shot. Just what she needed to put some pressure on the Canadian finalist. I want to say 9 at some point for Crispin, not because I don't want him to win, but just because he just keeps making me say 10. That's in the 9 ring for Ida, so a 19.
Teresa. Spider.
Go for it.
Another 10 for Crispin. That is the 11th 10 in a row. And Ida, are you going for it?
I'm going for the small dot.
So 50-50 so far. She's hit it once, missed it once. It's a third chance for Ida to go for the 12. She's gone left. I think that's probably going to be an 8, so a 27. So a 7 will be enough for Crispin to take the grand final of the recurve lockdown knockout live. It's another 10 for Crispin Duenas. 4 perfect 30s for him, and he takes this final 7 set points to 1, subject to a confirmation. But I think we can all see Crispin's target on the right-hand side, showing all the arrows inside the 10 ring.
I'm super happy. I mean, it's been a long time since I've done competition and felt this kind of pressure. Chris noted that I was getting slower, and that's something that I've been working on. And luckily, I was able to pull it back in the 4th set and still shoot a comfortable 30. And I'm happy. I mean, congratulations to Ida for really great shooting in this final. I mean, what better person to shoot this final against? She's Mexico's like top archer for the longest time running. I remember we were at the Pan Am Games in 2007 together, so I know that she's been around for a long time, just like me. Just really good shooting from her, and congratulations to her.
So Crispin Duenas is our deserved winner. After dropping just 1 point in 39 hours of match play, he's crowned champion of the Lockdown Knockout. Congratulations, Crispin. Thanks to all 8 archers for taking part, and thank you for watching. We'll be back soon.